I was tortured on the second day during interrogation. I was removed from the cell, blindfolded, taken to a room, chained into a chair like this on one hand, one officer at the back, another officer in the front. The one in the front would hit me with blows while I'm being asked, because they took our phones. And so they would go through the phones and ask us question, who is so-and-so? Who is funding this movement?
All right, welcome back to Havana Media. This is your trusted channel for real African stories. And now, we bring you breaking news about a man who's turning pain into purpose. The man himself is Bob Njagi, a name now echoing across Kenya and East Africa. Bob Njagi, the young activist who was arrested and detained in Uganda alongside his friend, they were freed last week. And of course, the release comes just after weeks of uncertainty, protests from human rights groups, and growing calls from Kenyans demanding justice. The two were accused of organizing a youth mobilization meeting in Kampala, which Ugandan authorities claimed threatened regional stability. But for Njagi, it was never about war. It was about freedom, empowerment, and unity among East African youth. Now, after his release, Bob Njagi spoke passionately to journalists, saying his time behind bars only made him stronger. He also said that being jailed for speaking the truth opened his eyes to what young people face: oppression, corruption, and betrayal by leaders who were once just like them.
We were abducted on the 1st of October when we got to a petrol station called Matuga Starbucks petrol station. This Starbucks petrol station is owned by none other than the president of this republic. That's where we had parked our car without knowing. And so it is a coincidence or not that we are arrested at the same venue where belongs to the president. And the manner in which we were arrested was by military surveillance team. The military surveillance team that is doing this operation is in charge of all the abductions in Uganda. It is led by a man called Tukakira. He's a sergeant, Tukakira, get that name. He's the man who came to arrest us. He's the one who came to release us. He's the one who was moving us and transferring us around. He's in charge of that operation. There is a the head of the counterintelligence. He's called Mr. Eli. Eli is the one who is commanding that team from the Special Forces Command under the military, the UPDF wing. The Special Forces Command is a private security team of the army trained to protect the first family. So they are above other military wings, and they actually call themselves next to none, that they're next to none in terms of power. It was limited. We were denied the right to free movement. We were locked up in a cell for those 38 days, not even able to get some sun. The food rations were porridge in the morning and beans and ugali for the 38 days. Myself, I declined to, eat my lunch and decided to fast as a way of protesting with prayer. But we were able to get through it despite losing a lot of weight in the process. There was a lot of people who were suffering from medical conditions and were not being allowed to even see a doctor. The hygiene was pathetic. We would only use something inside the cell as to help yourself. For the 38 days, you are in handcuffs, day and night. That is your pillow. So if you have to eat, you have to lift your plate and eat from your hand, wash your hands. They were putting us into a very difficult situation. But we thank God for going through it and coming out alive. And we continue.
Njagi described his prison days as the darkest, but also the most powerful moment of his life. They tried to break me, he said, but I came out with fire in my heart. And now, in a move that has shocked many and inspired millions, Bob Njagi has announced that he will run for Presidency of Kenya come 2027 general election.
But more importantly, we are moving away from protest into now power. We are organizing ourselves as an alternative leadership in this country. I myself will be vying for the presidency of the Republic of Kenya come 2027. August, and they should be prepared for a serious battle. In our cadres, we have governors, people who are vying for governorship. We have senatorial aspirants. We have members of parliament, most of whom are young people, Gen Zs, the women, the persons with disabilities. We are pushing these cadres of people to take over leadership of this country and to salvage this country from where it is today, to put it back on a path of a serious development. We have seen in Burkina Faso what young people can do. Within 2 years, they have changed the economic status of their people just by leveraging on the land resources, cutting down on corruption and government spending. We don't need rocket scientists to come and change this country. We have enough young leaders who are ready to lead. And so we ask Kenyans to join the Free Kenya movement, the People Power movement, as an alternative voice of the people, and we are ready to move this a step higher towards liberating this country.
Yes, you heard that right. The same young man who was once locked up for his beliefs is now setting his eyes on the country's top seat. He says it's time for a new generation to take charge and also take the change. Generation that refused to be silenced and that believes in people over power. Bob Njagi also said that his decision was not just about politics, but about giving Kenyan an alternative, a people's power movement that represents truth, integrity, and service. He said, for too long, the youths have been used as ladders by politicians who forget us the moment they reach the top. And that time is over. It is now our turn.
On the 9th of December, we are calling for a total shutdown in East Africa, in solidarity with the Tanzanians and Kenyans who have died in Tanzania. We are demanding that, one, the President Suluhu must step down unconditionally and give chance for the Tanzanian people to relook at this constitutional crisis. Number two, we are also saying that we want all Ugandan prisoners, political prisoners, including Dr. Kiza Besigye, to be released. And so we're going to be joining hands with our Ugandan counterparts, the Tanzanian counterparts, to do a major demo within these 3 East African countries. The only thing that can stop that from happening is if they listen to what we are demanding and actually release these people from prison.
Political analysts are already calling Bob Njagi's move bold and historic. And some even say he represents the spirit of a new Kenya, one that is tired of corruption, tired of empty promises, and ready for transformation. And others warn that his announcement could attract powerful enemies, especially those who see his people's power movement as a threat to the political order. But Njagi seems underrated. He also seems undertiered. He says they can arrest the body, but they cannot jail the dream. Now, from the streets of Nairobi to the slums of Kibra, his message is spreading very fast. Videos of his speech are trending online, and many young people are calling him the voice of the voiceless. Even some church leaders and civil society groups have quietly expressed support, saying that Kenya needs brave leaders with clean hands, just like Bob Njagi. Now, as the 2027 race begins to shape up, Bob Njagi's entry has already changed the conversation. It's no longer just about the same old faces. It's about a new generation demanding to be seen, heard, and respected. And if Njagi's courage and conviction are anything to go by, Kenya might be witnessing the rise of one of its most unexpected political challenger. That's what I think, according to me. What about you? Thank you for watching Havana Media, where we tell stories that matter in Africa. Please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to our channel so that you never miss the next story. My name is Odwor Billy, and see you in the next episode.